Thank you.
My name is Alexis Jones, and I'm the CEO of CreditTrack. I've worked with customers for over 15 years who all seem to have the same types of products and needs. 30% of their Americans have subpar credit, meaning they have less than 601 credit scores. This is our problem. With 601 credit scores, they're treated very differently because 700 is the standard credit score that's known economically throughout the world. The impact: 30% of Americans cannot qualify for some of the most basic needs. They can't even qualify for a basic house, car, and apartment. They're paying premium prices for their credit issues. Our solution with CreditTrack will automate and scale solutions to their problems. We offer 4 areas where we'll assist them in bill tracking, debt paydown, inaccuracy disputes, and wealth management. Our competition is a few companies that you might know. We're different because we create plans that are customized to fit the financial goals while keeping an eye on your credit. I provide a competition matrix that outlines areas where they're weak and where we're strong with our product. As you can see, we offer all these solutions, and the only thing they all offer is the credit score. Our revenue model is very simple. We offer a subscription by service with 3 areas where we offer a starter model for $14.99, premium model for $16.99, and a gold model for $19.99. Our market analysis shows that in the credit and financial services industry, which is $16.8 trillion, represents how people are struggling with their credit issues. We're targeting people that earn good money, but they've never learned to manage money. They're what we call new to money. This is our mobile mock-up, which shows what CreditTrack will look like on your phone from a login suite, which you can use your email as your login and a customized password. This is my advisory team. They're amazing. I have Christopher, who is a senior loan officer with Prime Lending, Sean Stanford, who's president of Fees Tech Data Work, and also the amazing James Johnson, who's the principal of James Johnson Associates. We're seeking a technology co-founder. We're wanting to make sure this product will be very successful in the market. We're looking for someone who's talented who can work with us, as we're very diverse. We're looking for $350,000 to develop our software tool that allows us to develop it, scale it, and take it to market. We can be reached downtown as we're located there. My email is alexis@credittrack.co. Thank you kindly for allowing me to present to you this evening.
Alright, so this is tough. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Or would you like to go first?
No, unless you want me to. I can, but I feel like so bad from being gone for so long.
Your speaking style, I find very, very warm and engaging and effective. And your case is quite good. So you had me leaning forward before I even knew what you were saying. Your presentation style. Again, get lost in meeting and trying to understand what it is that you do. And conceptually, the messages that you communicated early on made sense, but I wasn't connecting it to anything necessarily. And I thought you might have kind of an order flow issue. You know, it took you a little bit to get the problem. I think you might want to start there. X% of people have a credit score below this, and they suffer for it as a result. That's a grabber. That's attention getting. And I think you kind of take too long to get there.
Okay.
Maybe you should just leave.
I was trying to get to it.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Sure. And then you define 700 as the standard credit score, but that's not specific enough. I don't know what that means. That's
Okay.
Is that?
Oh, you're the first person that's ever said that. Okay.
You know.
Thank you.
Sure. I thought the competitive matrix was fantastic. The content of it, the design, I think, could be improved to help with readability. Just enhance, increase the font size, because that, for the first time, helped me get it. At that point, I had a sense for what your product did. Because your features are listed right there, and I kind of, and that context relative to the competition. Okay, I get it. But I'm having to cognitively work pretty hard and squint a little bit
Okay,
to
to make it
read
broader and make it bigger.
Right, so I would really enlarge the features and
Okay.
font and think about how to do that. I don't care as much about the competitor logos, so yeah, you could diminish that and then create some more space for yourself from a design perspective. Because that really helps from a definition perspective.
Okay,
The mobile mock-up, while I'm generally a fan of showing screenshots, you're showing a screenshot of a login page. All the login pages look the same.
Right.
So that's not differentiated.
Right.
And nobody's going to be impressed by seeing
Right.
what is a standard login page for most folks. So if you're going to show a mock-up, I would show something more compelling.
right, I'm working on it. Almost finished.
And then there was, I think, the slide where you're talking about seeking your technical co-founder, font sizes were inconsistent, which I found really jarring. That's just a minor, easy fix. But if I was in the audience and you were actually pitching here, that would be kind of a fatal error kind of thing. That's like the
Because
typo.
you can't see it. and
Well,
it's
but
different.
it's like a typo in a resume,
Okay,
right? You know, hey, this is the same thought, but it's clearly a different size font on the same screen. It's just kind of a rookie mistake that
Okay.
comes across. And then verbally sharing your contact info at the end to close, it's not a strong finish. It's clearly there. If I'm compelled enough to want to follow up with you, I'll find your contact info. It's
Okay.
out there. I would look for a higher note to end on
okay,
than that. It's kind of
okay.
a low point to end on in my view. Yeah, that's what I have.
Okay.
Okay, I can do you too. I had to look. Like, okay. So I'm glad that we landed here on this because I just, like, I'm not reading any of it. I can only.
Is it too much?
I told you that last time. So my number one feedback was, we all agree you have a pleasant speaking and presentation style. However, go back to feedback for mental review. You should have got a special assignment. I think you did get a special assignment. I'm wondering what happened to the special assignment because you needed a special assignment to address these things. It feels like you can do a much better job of incorporating the feedback. You need to look at your product, look at the areas your product addresses and read them. You should know those. You should be looking at us and telling us that. Your competition slide, go back. Stop. That is helpful. I just want to echo logos, make them much smaller. They're not what's important. And we talked about this specifically. Those little wealth management, you should probably move up so that all the blues are across the bottom and you're the one that stands out and gets small. Just visually, go back another one. This is useless. And it's, again, too many words. No one's going to read it, so why have that there? It just shows that you're not getting that no one's going to read that. We don't have time to read that, and we're not going to read it and listen to you. So if you need additional information and you're sending it via email, that's one thing, but you're not. So why is that there? And the same thing with page numbers.
Okay.
Go back. Back. Okay, forward. Wait, keep going back for a second. Back. No, I mean to the beginning of the presentation. Again. Okay. Go forward. Sorry, but you stumbled through your presentation here. It's fine to have the 700 on there, I guess, like to show that that's kind of like the target. But I would just say that's a target, for these people, to have good credit. I think the way that you contextualized it wasn't working. And then also, I don't know if you noticed, but minor detail, I can see the box behind the 700 and I just feel like it should be blending in. Go forward to the one that goes at an angle like that. And by the way, I see a lot of typos, which we've talked about. You should be starting your bullet points with a cap. No one here should be having typos. Your team should be seeing your presentation and telling you about that. If you guys were there in the room and saw she is not incorporating feedback, you need to tell her, hey, didn't they tell you to do this? Because they're going to probably get on you that you didn't do that. This one specifically, you got feedback on. around the white space and everything, and why is there all those words still on there? So this is like a bane for you, is the wordiness. And I see it's what's reflected here is in your personality too. Like there's a couple times where your peers are presenting today and they're being recorded and you're chatting during their recording. So this is like you need a discipline when it comes to that. Like you have wonderful ability to present yourself and that's a gift, but you also need to know how to tame it and to polish the weaknesses of it. So that's your rough spots that you really need to work on. That's why you're getting a 2. You know, and so you need to go back over the videos and really take the advice.
Right.
This is a weakness. So that's my feedback.
Okay, so my feedback is probably going to be confusing, but if I take it back to the beginning of time, I'm still not convinced that I'm still not seeing this as a scalable application. So even if you think about like the Credit Karma and some of the others, if I think about how they make their money, it's different than what you're presenting. So I'm giving you a 4 because I think for me there's been a disconnect from day one in terms of you as a founder. It sounds like I think you're very passionate about fixing a problem that people have based on circumstances, which kind of makes me put you in more of like a wealth management bucket versus a technology company like a Credit Karma who is tracking people's patterns and then kind of subtly selling them things to kind of make their money. So my 4 is based on where you've been, what you've done, your passion for your industry, and the solution that you offer to people today in terms of everything that you presented. So that's my 4 there. But in terms of building a technology that will be scalable based on the different ways that I understand some of your competitors, my score would probably be a 1 because I'm not there. So disclosure, which is why I went last, I'm still not there in terms of seeing how your product will potentially be compete with the Credit Karma based on your why and based on everything that's there in terms of why you're doing what you're doing. It's a disconnect for me.
Are you trying to help people make better financial decisions?
Make better financial decisions because being in this industry, I understand how it works. I understand how Credit Karma works. I understand how they make their money. I know how the banks make their money. I understand how people buy, how mortgages work. I have a complete insight into the industry. And my
That's
advisory...
great, but as your potential customer, I'm going to trust that you have that.
Oh, yes.
What is it you're going to help me do?
I'm going to help you make better financial decisions and understand when there's an issue with your credit or you notice something going on, you're going to have alerts that you're going to get the explanation as to why it's happening. Whereas most people rely on a banker to educate them when there's a problem. Bankers sell money. They're not educated about credit or why they can't make a decision. It's all done by automation. So I'm providing information that people aren't really getting. But at the same time, they're going to get the value of what a monitoring service would give them with the credit score, but understand what it means. And when lenders are making decisions, I build my entire business on people who get denied because they don't understand why. Nobody can tell them why.
So you're going to be my kind of automated financial coach.
Yes, that's a good one.
And that's the part that I'm not. So when I think about some of the ones that are up there, because I've used, when I pull my credit report whenever I need to, or when something happens, or when I want to know my score, I'm not hearing I'm having a disconnect because what you just said right there, I would come to Alexis to help me invest my money better or make better decisions. So I'm not getting how I'm going to get Alexis in the app. If I'm thinking about your competitors.
I see what you're saying. Okay, that makes sense. I get that part. Okay.
So based on what
I didn't get all that until you said that one piece, and I was
back to how you just answered his question.
Yeah.
I'm not getting that in your presentation, though for me it's a 4 based on what I am rating. I have yet to see you're pitching to investors. So if I'm the investor, I'm not seeing why Alexis is going to get me a return that Credit Karma finally got me after all of these years.
Just two observations when he asked you, like, what are you gonna do? First of all, if there was a challenge, like what Veronica brought up about, is this scalable? My response would have been like, well, credit tracker, not I'm not
see.
gonna do it for you.
Okay.
Credit tracker. And he fed back to you in 3 words what you took like more than that, it's about 5 or 6 sentences, and then you stopped and we were all quiet and you started talking again. And you just have to be comfortable with being quiet and listening. And even when Veronica just gave you feedback and you jumped back and told her what you were thinking in your mind, she doesn't need to hear that. You need to hear what she has to say. You see what I'm saying? So these are things that are coming across in your presentation that you're gonna have to hone in and polish up. And we all have it. I see a lot of qualities that I have in your presentation that I have to work on. Same thing with Jack Paul and others I've mentioned, right? So it's not coming from a place of judgment or anything. It's coming like, this is where you need to polish that diamond.
Mhm.
So there's a lot more to be said about that, but if I were you, I would be scheduling office hours in the mud leading up to graduation. Okay?
Do you know Constance Carter?
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, I just saw her. Look up Constance Carter. She was just on one of these local, when people go on the news and she was talking about credit and what she's delivering that's new. She's a local, Google it. Like, it was literally within the last week, and I thought of you, and it reminded me of your product. But yeah, I'm trying to get there, but I'm just.
So this is where you need to, lean in. And got it, just like you were saying earlier in the presentation report, you got to really receive, and this is your opportunity to make sure that you're not getting those objections. But if I just looked at this presentation based on the feedback you got last week, I'm not convinced that you're receiving it and processing it, or that maybe it's a time management situation or something. But I pulled 2 all-nighters last week, so you know what I'm saying? Do what
Where
gotta
are you
do.
at in developing the technology, your MVP, where are you?
I have a couple of I've actually got the layout for the dashboard, and I'm getting ready to put the wireframe component together, but I've already laid it out. I just have to plug it in and finish putting together the mock-up. And I have a couple people I'm interested in as technology consultants. And I'm going to be, in the initial funding of this, it'll be self-funded and working through
Your wireframing.
subscribers. My
That's where you're
wireframing.
at right now.
That's where I'm wireframing.
And you should be beyond that. Stop now, because you're pitching again.
Oh, sorry.
She had a question about where you are with the product. You don't have to graduate with an MVP or product and market. You really don't. That's not the goal. But you had assignments on product development. This week we all got, we're going to be going over all of your assignments and looking for weaknesses, but you're wireframing.
Yes,
That's
where I'm
where
at.
you are with your product. And that's okay. Leave it at that. You're wireframing. Okay. Thank you. We're going to have one more, and that's Brenda. Nice.
Let's sit down now.
I couldn't do it.
That's on my bucket list. Did you do have you done any of the retreats?
The yoga retreats, I've done a few, but that one we were just,
Yeah, I pretty much get nauseated when I'm in those kinds of situations.
let's see. Please, sorry. No, I'm trying to do the mirror thing here. It's Apple TV, right? There's like 4 choices. These are the separate.
Try the first one.
Apple TV.
Let's do your last. Okay, good. You're good.
Do you have waiver wire assistant and trade analyzer?
We will.
Okay.
That was
See, I be getting feedback, so I just so much.
I don't know, I like shooting, I'm gonna be doing our research.
That's where we're talking.
Autopilot lineup and draft wizard?
We will have that, yes.
Just whole negative stuff.
We will have that, yes.
What's different about your algorithm or your research? Or, you know what I'm doing? Can I just?
Yeah, you know it.
Yes, I maybe you should mentor.
I don't know why it's not displaying, it's so weird. I'm clicking on, some Facebook.
It's the way that it was displayed before, can you just go to, present?
Yeah, you want to,
Okay.
Caroline, is it the same problem you had
I
last
was
time?
thinking it is.
Yeah.
If
This
you
is what
go, if you go to the,
Really into
Huh, I even came earlier
and now he's
telling
a scout
got it
and
out of
entrepreneur. So
practice. It's not talking to the TV, that's the problem. I don't know. And I'm using
the
that.
you can go to the monitor,
Do I need this? 'Cause I
display.
didn't need it last time.
You might need it this time.
It's weird.
I mean, it was blinking, I think it did.
I mean, I've been doing it for,
I have a similar problem, Brenda, let me see if I can help.
if you go to, let me just try this again, because I haven't needed it ever.
So otherwise you can go to your,
So since it uses a separate display.
which one now?
I'm not hearing.
or Samsung, is that it?
it is cold. Like, it used to be hot,
It is cool.
and now I'm like, I should have brought my clip, and then I'm like,
It just disappeared. Yeah.
That's not
So,
I'll wear mine before
Are you cool? You got a nice sweater on, plus you've got probably more muscle mass than us. Are you cool with the climate?
Okay.
it just dissolves. Yeah, it
Not
just.
that we can do anything about it.
Well, I appreciate the fires.
maybe I'll here,
Try that.
because she posted the,
Yeah, you see why we're
the
so
video on Facebook.
impressed with our survivors.
And she,
Because we're no holds barred.
she
You know,
started a real estate
philosophically, you don't
and now
really
she's
understand.
offering a credit product. And so when she was, when they were doing the interview or whatever,
It's not talking.
Ray Dalio
That is so
started Bridgewater Capital, the largest hedge fund in the world.
Let me take a picture of that.
Can you go
It's
through?
crazy, it's crazy. So
Really?
What's the
Well,
toolbox?
he embraces
I don't use
extreme
Apple.
transparency, extreme,
Where you can go to monitor.
Settings,
like,
That's how.
preference?
first day at work there, you sit down, you introduce yourself, and you tell everybody how much you
I
do.
don't know, I did it last time. I
I'm for that.
People that
It
use
wasn't- it wasn't
that
Google.
constant
What is it?
on
See,
how
I don't know how much you did. I just
to themselves.
Like your control.
Building
What
their,
is that called?
and they
Oh.
are no holds barred,
And
he
then go
encourages.
to monitor.
Constance
So
Carter.
he's done a TED talk on-
That's how I.
but he's-
Like
he's-
systems
that's-
preferences.
He has a TED
That's what I
talk.
was thinking.
Yeah,
One of my
he's
friends
famous
that's
for
in marketing has been
publishing
helping
his
her
principles.
with her
Kind of manifesto
branding
he
and
published
doing some of the
in
videos.
And that is kind of internet sensation, and this is kind of the entire rationale. That his work principles, which he published, he's got his personal principles as well.
try some of
I'll read
those.
right now.
This is one of her testimonies about whatever her
I've always
product
been
is.
really drawn to people who give candid feedback and
So
felt like
she's talking
deprived
about-
when
so it's
people
like a reminder
like
to
and
work
it goes
with
away
it.
and do
It
reviews.
goes away, that's so weird.
But I found that when I would give it, I would like, some people would just could not handle it. Even if they were able to give it, they couldn't take it.
Apple TV?
Yeah, what's
Just
that?
like-
So,
Where do you go?
yeah, so it's interesting, but there's this book that Hoffman Fellow Society gave us called Conscious Leadership.
Mhm.
And it talks about candid feedback, but it basically, in that book, it says
Because
that
it's
it has to
underneath
be,
the words underneath
you have to have permission going
Right.
both ways.
Yeah.
You can, like, if you just give it and you haven't got permission to give it, like, most people can't handle it.
Exactly.
So,
There has to be that kind of.
there has to be a foundation of trust, like, so we warned them.
Show them.
We did warn you guys, right?
And the thing is that.
Chelsea's like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
No, something popped up on the screen and
Yeah, I was, I came up with some.
What if you do
Preconceived notions.
I've been hitting
I
this, it's not even
feel
talking
worse
to
about
this.
myself,
It's
everyone
not
out there.
talking to,
And.
see, it's not
It
even
gave,
talking.
some serious
It's
thought
not
about that.
connecting.
So that's how I changed, to be honest.
It is so,
Yeah,
you
but
guys have a
initially I
vacuum
was
switch,
like,
right?
I was
Is
thinking
it
about
the
this is how
display that's,
the-
is there, because you sometimes you use
So I
one
was-
display,
So initially I was
Yeah.
getting cornered.
try to drag it, see if you
I
can drag it.
figured it out. So that's what it is, like, just listening is basically what it is. Yeah, I mean, even if you are first
Awesome.